They were talking about how Tex wanted a drink or something, and Tom were there just giving a bit of banter. But you can see now, hood up, headsets on. This is serious right now. They're playing for a really good amount of prize money, and also that trophy to be taken home with them, and the ultimate confidence boost going into the playoffs.
Well, here we go then. The PGL Masters FIFA 19 license qualifier, the last LQE of the season in May. Both these players guaranteed themselves 850 Global Series ranking points, but now they're playing for the trophy. And the all-important $10,000 US. Expect a interesting two legs of FIFA here. Yes, they were teammates in the E-Nations Cup, and they practiced against each other quite a lot at the FUTWIZ HQ. 1v1 games, 2v2 games. Ahead of the E-Champions League, they actually sparred against each other as well. I was speaking to Tex before the game kicked off.
Important to point out as well that this game is played on PlayStation 4. Tex did win the coin toss and elected to play on his away console first in the PlayStation. So he's coming on to his home Xbox in the second leg.
You're asking why that is. It has been the story or the theory of competitive FIFA in the cross-console final. First and foremost, we know that Xbox has many more wins on PlayStation. That's nothing to do with, you know, starting on a certain console. But Boras said it perfectly. 90% of the time, from what we have seen this year, the person that will start on their home console will often lose that matchup, which will then go on to lose them in overall tie and lose the cross-console final. Can Tom be the man to kind of change that theory? Doesn't really matter, though, for F2TEKKZ. I've made the joke all season. Anywhere in the world, any console, he can play FIFA, and he can do it to a very, very high level.
Said he had 7 trophies on his cabinet. Tex.
That's just from this year, or maybe 6 plus probably the FUT Champions Cup back in Barcelona. What a transition of years. He's a player that right now, you kind of run out of adjectives to describe him, don't you? He's done so much, F2TEKKZ, and we can talk and we can talk, and he's just been incredible this year. The amount of consistency he's been able to provide in all the FUT Champions Cups, in LQEs, it's just been sublime. It's been something we've never seen before. Here comes FUTWIZ Tom, though. Jens Lehmann, he's in the final. He's going to be playing.
You saw a little bit of goalkeeper movement as well. He moved him all the way to the left-hand side, expecting the shot to come from Tom. There's going to be a lot of pre-reads in this game. If you don't know what I mean by that, the sort of the goalkeeper movement before the player's even shot. Predicting what your opponent's going to do, whether they go down the line, scoop it up, cross it into the box. That's the sort of thing you get when you've played this many matches against each other and you've prepared for tournaments with each other.
Comes F2TEKKZ now. His first real chance to attack Tom, but instead decides to recycle it all the way back to one of his beloved Liverpool players, Virgil van Dijk. Rafa Varane in at left back. You're looking at Maldini as well. He's in centre-half, partner alongside VVD. Ronaldo heel to heel, goes down. Tex will be asking for a penalty. Referee waves that one away.
Another storyline coming into this game. Tex, massive Liverpool fan. Tom, massive Spurs fan. Champions League final preview in FIFA.
Yeah. Maybe that could create a big story. There's the shot, time green. Time to perfection, and who else to score it? Patrick Vieira. I know it's a final.
أول هدف.
But wow, he's decided to step up and get this final underway for the man on his home console in this game. A pile driver from just over 30 yards away. Incredible goal.
Yeah, great finish there from Patrick Vieira on the edge of the box. Around 85 and 86 shot power and long shots for Patrick Vieira. There's people, when you see the ball come to him on the edge of the box, you don't expect to shoot with him.
Yeah.
Even if you're not timing that green, there's a good chance of forcing a good save out of the goalkeeper. As soon as you time it green, the chance of it going in dramatically increased.
Here comes Tom again. He's been free-flowing these last 2 days. 54 goals he's scored, now 55. Highest goal scorer overall in the tournament, if not just the PlayStation. You're wondering how Tom did get to the final. It was a 4-1 win against New York City Chris, who we must mention a fantastic tournament as well. Made a console final, the furthest he's been in an international tournament this year. He'll be adding 450 points to his tally. Tom, on the other hand, though, from 50th. So at least you have to say half of that now in the top 25 with the points he's been able to add on to that.
Yeah, he's got a PSL Country Cup as well, points to add on to that tally.
Oh, Ronaldo.
So you're probably looking with the 850 and then the couple of hundred from the Country Cup into the top 18, top 19.
Wow, on the verge of a potential grand final spot if he plays well in the playoffs. As this corner comes in now, headed away by Rafael Varane, back to Maldini. He's not going to be shooting, but his partner at the back decides to have a hit. And Van Dijk ricocheted straight back. Cristiano Ronaldo, get rid of it, Varane just sticks a leg out and again is able to match that.
So what's happened there? He's pressed square to clear the ball. It's registered that Tom's actually still the defending team instead of in possession of the ball. And he's pressed square and it's gone for a slide tackle instead of the cross.
Another day, that could be a penalty, you never know.
The lobbed pass out.
Back to goal. Tom turns to strike again, turns back inside. Unfortunately, turns straight back into the Spanish centre-half. Who is out, full-back, Sergio Ramos. Obviously, there was the hype about SPQL Rodrigo, what a tournament he had, but his run did come to an end in a console final against TEKKZ. 8-5 it was in the end. And it was a case of TEKKZ just being able to showboat his 8th goal was something special in regards to the flair behind it. A few keepy ups, I'm sure, just got chips over and just straight into the back of the net. Proven though, never to write him off, even when he was 2 goals down on 2 occasions in that match. Still managed to find those goals, found an answer for Rodrigo. Added time of 2 minutes. R9 back to Neymar. Can he get a shot away? Maybe just an extra 2 touches than he needed.
Van Dijk's been a rock at the back for TEKKZ early doors. If you're unfamiliar to FIFA esports, and you'll probably know who F2TEKKZ is from his previous tournament wins, but FUTWIZ Tom, being a FIFA player, a professional player for a couple of years now. FIFA 17 was his first event in Paris, the first ever FIFA event that was backed by EA Sports, where he finished in the top 6 players in the world at that event, getting knocked out by his good friend Shells.
But also, the year that Tom has had, you can't look past it. You go back like 4 months and he was playing in the EPL club playoff down at Tottenham Hotspur, which, as you know, beloved Spurs fan, wanted to represent the club at the EPL finals. Unfortunately, got knocked out in that tournament. And it was kind of a stage there, Richard, where he was like, I don't know if the season's going to continue for me. I don't think the playoffs will be able to be achieved.
It was very, you'd say, thoughtful of his approach going forward in FIFA 19.
Back to goal, just like that. F2TEKKZ rudely interrupted us. 1-1 the scoreline. Neymar with that goal. But back to the point about Tom, Richard. Sorry to interrupt you with an F2TEKKZ time green finish. It was a tough point for him in the season.
Yeah, he didn't know what he wanted to do. He didn't know if continuing to play FIFA is something that he really desired this year. He was struggling with FIFA 19 and the game itself. And then a couple of events later, got a little bit of confidence, qualified online for the E-Champions League. He then won the E-Lions event. He then went to the FIFA Nations Cup, played very, very well as part of England. Got a draw against Nicholas, the #1 player on the world on the PlayStation. A lot of people didn't really back him in that game, and he performed.
He stepped up to the mark throughout the whole tournament, in my opinion.
And then going forward, it's just been event after event after event, culminating here at the final LQE of the year, PGL FIFA 19 Masters, where he has won the PlayStation 4 side.
He should be very proud of his achievement. Could he be 2-0 up here? Cuts back inside. And just hoofed away in the end from TEKKZ. Maybe he felt the heat. And had to just clear that one out.
It is warm in this studio.
Nearly 2/3 gone in this first leg. It's the conspiracy theory. If you start on your home console, you normally lose that game. At the moment, TEKKZ is playing well, and
I won't even say it's a conspiracy theory, really, because there's the stats to back it up.
A proven theory, then.
Yeah, I'd say it's just sort of a thought that goes around.
Lovely.
That's fantastic no-touch turn.
What's a save? Massive save, Van der Sar. A dummy away from the man. Fake shot inside. Corner comes straight in, headed away by Van Dijk at the front post, guarding. his goal as usual. Watch out though, Ramos is out of position. R9's going to make that run down the left-hand side, which he does find the ball to. He's very well to hold up and expect to switch all the way across if he can. Instead, doesn't need it. Mbappe to Neymar. Had the flash shot. Fortunately, went over the bar.
Very, very entertaining game to watch this. End-to-end FIFA right now between these two. You attack, I attack.
I think a little conversation I heard in as well before the game. Tom was like, can I win please? You know, you've got like, as you said, 7 trophies, like 6 good profile pictures with a trophy. Can I have a win here? So I'm sure Tex won't be being pushed over that easily. We know Tex. The fact he's on over 12,000 ranking points now as well, that's set in stone. Headed into the playoffs. Scary, the amount of points he's been able to accumulate over this season. So Elastico away from his man, played inside. What a little heavy touch that was. I'm not sure if he meant it. Hill to Hill all the way across. That's prime F2TEKKZ. And he will lead by 2-1 on his away console.
Vintage Tex right there. And maybe a little bit of a message to FUTWIZ Dan with that celebration as well. It's the celebration that Dan likes to do. The little chicken bird dance on the floor. And Tex just sending a message to Team FUTWIZ there. It's one of the things that if you didn't know, you'd think it was just a celebration. But when people know that you're doing a specific thing to, I won't say antagonize, but to just let the message be heard, that's the sort of thing that resonates.
I think that's one of those things that people don't really look into as well, the celebration. Like, there's pros out there that if you start shushing or, you know, giving just the ear celebration, you know, that does travel around, in the, you know, between players saying, oh, he was doing this to me here and there. When he was only 2-0 up, it just gives you, it can really thrive, you know, it can make a player really push on and try and get back in a game. Everyone knows it enough from FUT Champions when they've played there and their opponent
dabs on me.
Yeah, it's been dabbing or something like that. In the pro scene, players are starting to find their favourite celebrations now. They try and make them very unique to themselves. Currently, though, 2-1 to F2TEKKZ.
Just keeping on the ball right now. He's really, really a professional manner. Working it down the line. If there's nothing going forward, he can go sideways, he can go backwards.
You can see as well that Tom has a pause cued, which means something's not right for him. Mbappe in the box. Oh, hello, hello. Frenchman with all the skills. Vieira, why not he have a shot? Ronaldo! And that's the composure of a serial winner this year. So many trophies, and once again just proves his composure in the final third in such a big match. The ability just to stop there and kind of just turn, wait for the goalkeeper to do the movement for you, so you have got a better percentage chance of scoring, is pretty incredible to see.
Textbook right there from F2TEKKZ. Really, really, as I was saying, just professional is the word to describe his performance in this game. On his away console, he's kept majority of the ball, 54% I think that was. Had the shots on target, had the better chances than FUTWIZ Tom, setting himself up for the perfect second leg, going on to the console that he does prefer in the Xbox One. It really is a perfect setup, you'd say, an Act 1 to remember.
It's one of them as well. When you play against Tex, you have to get the first goal. Tom did do that, but it's how you build on from that goal.
You've got to get the first 3 goals. If you want any chance of sort of... You'd say all the times that Tex has been beaten, it's when somebody's got 2, 3 goals up early doors and you're forcing Tex's hand. If he scores first and he can almost
he can control you,
be the puppet master of the game and dictate which strings to play at certain times and which ball's going where, you've got no chance of getting back into the game.
He's just got under 10 minutes to maybe find a goal. Just to tighten this affair up. It would be still a goal behind, but 3-2 would be a good scoreline to get yourself out of this matchup, because as you said, Tex is in front. We'll look to control the game. R9 into Ibrahimovic. What's your thoughts behind that super sub?
He's a perfect hold-up player. He is Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
He's out on the left cam as well.
It's also the perfect back post header.
Really heavy.
Now with the tots as well. He's got an agility boost. He's got the 5-star skills. He's got actually quite a good crossing boost as well with his team of the season. So he can actually do the El Tornado himself, whipping it over to Ronaldo at the other side.
Doesn't mean he just has to be the man at the back post to win those headers. Instead, he can be involved. He can assist it. Messi driving on there. You can see him being controlled by Tom. Ibrahimovic on this left-hand side. TEKKZ will be happy just to get out of this game. Once again, just proves this theory. On the away console first for TEKKZ. The console he would have wanted to start on for TEKKZ, and he's been able to do that via a coin toss. And he's now 3-1 up in that matchup. Tom did start well. A first half that was pretty good from him. Second half, though, TEKKZ got a few goals and was able just to see it out in the end. And a trademark TEKKZ as normal. Half-time in the match, get myself out of the arena, have a few words with my coach, who is Enzo, for this tournament. What was I doing well? What wasn't I doing so well? And how do I approach this second leg now?
I've been watching both of Tom's last games from out in the sort of seating area just outside the studio. And you've got FUTWIZ down there, Lyrics was sat there as well. He was watching the games. That's where Enzo, TEKKZ's coach for this tournament, will be sat. And it's really insightful just to hear what conversations go on as soon as that sort of full-time whistle goes. Both players straight out the door, conversations.
The tough thing, though, about the conversations, you have to take them in different areas. Because this, you can't see it, but the green room, it's pretty tight. You need to go away, because otherwise people are just going to be sharing tactics.
I think looking at the game and sort of how the game went, it was TEKKZ just with a typical TEKKZ performance. I feel like we repeat ourselves a lot when we're watching TEKKZ, but the way that he can dictate the pace of the game and play the game to his sort of standing, it goes 1-0 down, and he's never really in doubt. Almost comparing it to other things that I've seen in sport and in esports, a little bit like Floyd Mayweather, where he's in boxing matches and he never looks in danger. He never looks, he might lose a round, but he's always going to win over the 12 rounds. He's always going to get it done, whether that be via knockout, via a decision. That's why he's unbeaten. That's why he's never lost. Granted, TEKKZ has had blips on his record, but to be able to win 7 events in the last 15 months, in the last 16, 15 months, is unbelievable. Yeah. No one has ever done that over the span of a year and a half in FIFA esports.
Of course, yes, there hasn't been, the number of tournaments, but we just haven't seen a player dominate this much. We just keep talking about it, and it just, proves that there's someone out there that is very consistent. The game updates, the game changes. Some people drop off, some people thrive on different updates of the game. We've seen it throughout the competitive year. It's been a long season, this ad. You can see the chances here. That was TEKKZ's third goal in the end, I believe, just to hold on to the result, which he did go and win 3-1 on the PlayStation. So he's going back home to the Xbox now. But, back to the consistency point. Players have started well. Joksam started well, went kind of quiet for a few months. Yes, he wasn't qualifying for everything. Came back, Champions League, he's in the final now. Mo Alba started really well, dropped off a little bit. Now he's back, thriving well. Last year, MS Dasari, he was nowhere to be seen until March or April. Came out, won the whole World Championship. Like, it's a game cycle.
All these sort of stories that you're saying, if the graphic's going and then you get a down and then it goes up a little bit and then it might go down. TEKKZ, it's been at the top. He had a tiny little blip.
It's not much of a dip. It's not much of a dip.
For him, when we talk about a dip, that's not winning an event.
Which is
he didn't win the FUT Champs Cup 6. So it goes a little bit of a dip. And then E-Nations, he lost one game in one leg against Yago, and we're like, oof, he might not be at his best anymore. And he comes back and he's in a console final, cross-console final, 3-1 up on his away console.
And let's not forget, 2 events.
Who do you think
he wasn't even playing him? He qualified for them and just didn't want to go. He gave the spot to someone else, which was generous for him. Give that player an opportunity, which was Mentz, I believe. Sorry, no, it was an Xbox player. Another player dropped out for Mentz, and then he did it for a Gfinity event. He dropped out of an LQE there. So, can people just to be able to qualify for all these events, to have enough Global Series ranking points, and to have the confidence in yourself, as you were talking about yesterday, to have a day off.
Yeah, people often say that qualifying for the events is actually more stressful than competing at the events. He's qualified for 16 out of 16 events. 16 out of 16. Flawless.
I would love to have a look into one of those qualifying weekends because he makes it look like you know he's going to be on that list somewhere. Yeah. He's always going to be on that list somewhere.
Well, people often say, for example, if there was 8 spots available for Europe West, there's 7 spots available because Texas is already guaranteed one.
They just eliminate a spot already. Texas is having that.
Yeah, that's Texas' spot. Everyone else will battle out for 7.
That's the impression he's been able to have. You know, look at his social media fund. Look what he's done for the esports scene. But the score did finish 3-1 in that game. You know, we talked about Tex a lot, and, you know, we know why we're talking about Tex a lot because he's been winning so many events. If he wins a tournament here, it'll be 3 wins out of 4 tournaments in Bucharest, 2 LQEs, a major, and I think around a 16 in the other major. So, it's, you know, it's not too bad at all. Talking about Tom, though. He started well, got the first goal, 30 minutes in. Can it be done on Xbox?
It's tough. I can't remember the last time I saw Tom play Xbox. He's very, very a predominant PS4 player, whether he's live streaming on Twitch, whether he's making content, whether he's playing professionally. It's always PlayStation for him. So can he do it on the Xbox? It's going to be very tough. 2-goal deficit coming into this final game, and sort of, I don't want to be harsh, but
you're looking at it from previous results.
That was the game to do it.
Or to at least keep the score level.
Yeah, you have to. People say, if you ask Boras, if you ask Nightwatch, 2 goals. You have to be leading 2 goals to be going into the second leg with any sort of chance against Tex. He's losing by 2 goals. So he's got to make a 2-goal deficit with keeping a clean sheet and then get more to beat him. It's going to be an absolute mountain for FUTWIZ Tom to do it. I hope he's got his rock climbing boots on.
You think so? Especially ahead of this game. One more game of FIFA ahead of us. Then one of these 2 will be lifting that trophy you just saw there here at the PGL Masters. The last LQE of the season. Obviously, both players have guaranteed themselves those Global Series ranking points. It's just playing for that extra $5,000. If you lose this, you're guaranteed $5,000 anyway. If you win it, you get an extra $5,000 on top with $10,000. I think there's just a few changes here before we jump into this game. But it's going to be a job. It's going to be a big, big job for him to do. 2 goals behind against Tex. Obviously, as we know, the first goal will be massive in this game. If it goes the way of Tex, he's going to be 3 goals behind. And you think the mentality of any player, not just Tom, that would be in that situation in a cross-console final, it's tough. And I've said it before, like, it's like Tex plays a cross-console final in like a Swiss mentality. It's hard to explain, but like it's like he puts all this hard work in Tex, and as soon as he gets to the cross-console final, it's like
he seems a lot more relaxed.
He looks more relaxed, and I don't know if it's because he's made so many of these tournaments, he doesn't really feel the heat anymore. It's really hard to put your finger on it. It's just a very difficult kind of thing to work out, and I'd love Tex to try and explain that, because even himself, he would just say, I don't know, maybe it's muscle memory, maybe it's just a game of FIFA to him, maybe it's not that pressure that he once felt.
In terms of, we've got an all UK final. In terms of some of the, would you regard Tex as the best player to come out of the UK ever in terms of FIFA ability? I would say it's between him and Gorilla, personally.
I'd say Gorilla has to be in the conversation for sure, just because.
I mean, Chrissy Bullard back in the day.
Yeah, of course, you know, that was a completely different time.
2005
he was
world champion, and then
still winning.
Multiple FEWCs, FIWCs that he made, the finals
you talk about
too.
Tass, he's been involved in a lot of finals as well. Obviously, we have got the kind of new talent that's come through the doors, but, you know, there isn't many top UK PlayStation players. You've got Venny, you've got Jazz, you've got Tom, who is here, so credit, you know, where it's due to, you know, that handful of UK players that have been able to do well and really push themselves up into the playoffs, because there wasn't many. Yeah. There wasn't many players on the PlayStation.
Shells, probably.
Yeah, of course. You cannot forget Shells.
Probably being the biggest one in the UK at the minute. Papsity, just on the brink of the top 60 players right now from the UK. Venny as well.
Breakout tournament, the E-Champion, the E-Premier League.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Kyle Lees at the playoffs, because the last 2 times we saw him, we've seen him at the EPL and we've seen him at the E-Nations.
And he was on form then.
And at the EPL, he made a cross-console final.
And who was in his way?
F2TEKKZ. At the E-Nations, he lost in the final against the man on your screen right now.
In a crazy game, wasn't it?
F2TEKKZ. So both of these players have beat him. These 2 teammates for the E-Lions at the FIFA Nations Cup that went out to the hands of Argentina in the quarterfinals.
I'm sure F2 will be over the moon with the season they've had as well. They brought in FUTWIZ right at the beginning of the year, and they probably would have thought, can we maybe get, you know, one trophy back? Instead, they've got, you know, multiple trophies, as you said, and it could be number 7 from this season.
Yeah, multiple trophies, lots of social media interaction, lots of content being created with F2TEKKZ. Lots of prize money coming back to Mr. TEKKZ and his family and team F2.
I'm sure his mum will be around as well, watching somewhere. She's obviously been to all the events with him this season, wherever he's been in the world, Atlanta, Singapore. I'm sure she's looking forward to a break. Lots of traveling for the two of them this year. Tom, though, this delay, it might work well for him. You never know. This break could be something. Just to have a few more minutes to think about the game ahead.
Yeah, so I've just been told in my ear that this little bit of a break was Tom setting up his custom tactics for the Xbox leg on this cross-console final. We played the PlayStation. Now we're going over to the Xbox. TEKKZ is leading 3-1, and this short delay here was just Tom finalising his team and his selection.
Now we started.
Well, here we go then. Second leg of the PGL Masters cross-console final. We're now on Xbox. This is the home of TEKKZ, obviously. However, it was a 3-1 away win for TEKKZ in that first game. Can he look for a fourth now? Mbappe deflection, lucky enough for Van Dijk. And Tommy did go out for a corner. Has to defend this one now, though. Corner played short. Chipped up R9 all the way over. Van der Sar punches it away. Ronaldo was there in the air as well, but thankfully it was defended and looked after.
Yeah, that would have been the worst possible start for FUTWIZ, Tom, conceding an early goal.
Tom needs a big 30 minutes here. We have seen TEKKZ lose games, let's not forget that. In a cross-console final, he never seems to slip up. This is the chance now for Tom.
I don't know if you saw that in the top left corner, but these esports accounts are used at all the events.
Front post flick goal!
The man who just won that header there at the near post, team of the year Cristiano Ronaldo, that was his 250th game that he's played. Wow. On these accounts. So not all the accounts are linked to one player, but they're all used the same accounts for the different events. 250th appearance. He's only been available since January.
I'd love to see his goals as well. The goal tally's been able to kind of rank up throughout the last few months. TEKKZ there tried to just force that ball into the man as you were speaking about, Cristiano Ronaldo. It was Van Dijk in the way, though. It'll be a huge achievement if he can turn this game around on his away console for Tom. We haven't really seen him play too much, obviously. PlayStation player at heart. How much do we look into this? Obviously, the controller a little bit bigger on the Xbox. Goalkeeper movement. That's the only thing where the analog is positioned. How you perform skill moves. Other than that, not too much really to look into.
Yeah, the only real difference, probably the triggers at the back are slightly different between LT and RT and L2 and R2 on the respective controllers, and the analog positioning for the goalkeeper movement, for the placement of the shots, slightly different on the Xbox One controller.
Bucharest back to back there for Tom. Neymar now, his turn to strike. Will strike again, will win another corner. Last one was played straight into the front post, which went into the side netting. That was an attempted cross. Fortunately, no, deflected, falls straight back to TEKKZ again. Needs the opening goal here, Tom. Cannot let TEKKZ score. If he does, he'll be trailing by 3 goals. Wins it back really well there. Can he find a way through this brick wall at the back, it seems, of these 4 players from left to right? Varane, Van Dijk, Maldini, Ramos. A centre-back line of defenders, really. Rio Ferdinand, being moved out eventually. He was back in Rio for a long time, TEKKZ.
Yeah, I think the moments Maldini, and also
what's happening there?
You can't really not put in Team of the Year Varane, given how good he is. And you've got a centre half who's got 90 pace. It's very hard not to use him.
There's that finesse, and there's the goal.
I
The
think
goal
it's
that
done,
Tom
yeah.
did not want to concede as it gives TEKKZ another goal and a 1-0 advantage on the aggregate scoreline. 4-1 he does lead on his home console. TEKKZ is back home.
Don't
Not
want
this
to
on
come
Xbox,
back.
back in Bucharest. And he looks like he's on to win another trophy.
Back on the Xbox One and back into winning championships is F2TEKKZ. 3-goal advantage. 26 minutes on the clock. Lovely timed green finish just into the top left corner, out of the reach of Edwin van der Sar.
This is where TEKKZ starts to thrive. We saw how he completely changed against Rodrigo in extra time. From 6-5 up to winning 8 goals to 5. Tom has scored a lot of goals, let's not forget that. He has scored 55 in the competition, one of the highest goal scorers. But it depends against your competition you're up against. Yes, he played a number of big names on PlayStation. This is the first time he's facing TEKKZ. And it is in a cross-console final.
Risky pass out of the back there as well. And
Does get away with it, Van
just
Dijk.
about doing enough.
It'll be a time for him to attack. Now you can see TEKKZ, he's attacking. Why not? He wants to go forward and maybe score another one. He saw the idea there. I think Neymar may have just been onside. He was being played on by Rafael Varane all the way across the left back. First time for a long time we've had a all UK final. Stories between the two, as you said. One's a Spurs fan, one's a Liverpool fan.
Can't remember the last
Both
time.
players played for England in the Nations.
Can't remember the last time we had an all England, all Great Britain final in a major international tournament. I'm sure someone out there. I'll tell you who's got a good stat for something like that. If Danny Taylor is watching, he will know.
A veteran in the FIFA esports scene, a UK player as well. We've never really seen a UK matchup in a major, so to speak. In LQE, though, we have seen it. Currently 4-1 for F2TEKKZ. If you have to just join, this is the cross-console final. We're in about 10 minutes' time. We're just under TEKKZ. If he can continue like this, he will pick up another trophy in Bucharest. 7th for the season, I believe. That includes the likes of the EPL, the E-Club World Cup, the Champions Cup, LQEs. Even a trophy last season as well when he broke out onto the scene. Unfortunately, could not make the E-World Cup Grand Finals. He was at the playoffs and it was Rafsu that beat him.
Yeah, what a run Rafsu went on as well last year at the playoffs. So we're going to see a similar run from a player this year to get some really good Global Series ranking points on the board and force their way up the rankings.
Added time of 2 minutes. Scoop turn away there from Neymar, or two. Drag back, just toying with Ramos through his legs as well. Oh, rainbow flick into a finish, maybe. Oh, wow!
Nice goal.
Wowee!
Great goal.
Someone
Oh.
put that on recording. Showboating stuff. The flair to do it, the original bit of skill, went through the legs of Ramos into a rainbow flick. Stuck out a leg, just got it into Ronaldo. Anywhere around that penalty area, you know he's going to be deadly. And how about that one? To potentially seal the deal. I know we're only at half-time, but on aggregate, he is running away with this result, Richard.
Yeah, fantastic goal from TEKKZ. Probably the more interesting thing for me, he's playing 4-4-2, the second variation. Not sure if this is something that he's been testing out as of recently with Enzo, but...
Come on, to be able to do that in a cross-console final.
Yeah, we've seen it before from TEKKZ. It's very, very creative, very skillful in and around the box. Couple of dragbacks in the corner, scoop turns, and then Neymar with his own personalised rainbow flick inside the box.
Through the legs of Ramos, he could go nowhere. It was like FIFA Street for a second. And the ball used to get taken around, you just fall to the ground. Ramos on that occasion was that defender. I'm sure at that point, Tom was just like, wow. 4 goals down on aggregate into this second half of the second leg of this cross-console final. If there's any doubters about TEKKZ, he dropped a few games in the season. I'm sure he's back on top now. And if he can just hold this out for the next 5 minutes, We'll have another trophy to add to the collection. And he'll continue this conversation, this topic, the GOAT of FIFA. We'll be looking towards the playoffs and the World Cup Grand Finals, where he will certainly be with a 12,000 ranking points to his name. Really, really special.
A few comments on FUTWIZ Tom as well. What a tournament he's had to reach this cross-console final, going against England teammate.
What a mindset he's had
Tom
this season as well. A never give up mindset. Go back a few months, as you said, after that EPL club playoff at Spurs, it was a tough one for him. It really hurt. He's a huge Spurs fan, really wants to represent the club. Well, that could have been special. He's defended and matched up in the end.
خلاص كده توم اوت يعني.
If he's playing with the confidence and the self-belief in himself, he's very, very hard to beat. And
this weekend, he's looked the best I've ever seen him.
The top players, and I think the performance against New York City, Chris, really cemented that I am a top 20, top 15 player.
He just needed the chance, because 1-1 qualifiers a lot of the time, Rich, he was getting to the last round.
One game away
from making events, and it was just frustration building up for him. Of course, there's a handful of players out there that have got so close to qualifying for events on a number of occasions. He's had a breakthrough. He had the E-Champions League. He won the PlayStation Country Cup. Oh, sorry, didn't win it. Got some points off that. And it was just been a build-up in this kind of second half, latter stages of the Global Series. From 50th, as you said, into the top 20, 850 points added on to his tally that he has got of 881. Just goes to show one weekend of incredible FIFA, and he's nearly matched up the amount of points he's gathered up all season long.
Yeah, remarkable. He'll be competing with teammate FUTWIZ Marco now, really. Marco in 20th. Tom pretty much going 20th, 21st to 18th on the Global Series rankings. There's probably, realistically, 6 spots up for grabs, I'd say, at the playoffs on the PlayStation. But it's going to be a very, very tense PlayStation period, I should say.
Ronaldo into Neymar. There is a goal back for Tom. 20 minutes left. Does need 3 goals, though. It'll be an incredible turnaround if he was able to do so. Into a pause straight away from him. I'm sure Tom will be making a few changes. Tex, does he really need to change anything? Maybe some fresh legs at most.
Has he got Gerrard on the bench?
Is it still the magical Steven Gerrard substitution? I'm sure he's been.
Is it Gino Wijnaldum? No.
Yeah. Is he the new hero?
Against Barcelona and Divock Origi, potentially. But 3 goals the deficit, 20 minutes left on the clock. We'd have to see a Tottenham-esque comeback for lifelong Spurs fan FUTWIZ Tom if he wants any chance of getting back into this game, because against TEKKZ, it's just different gravy, innit? It's really, really, you just don't expect TEKKZ to throw leads away.
Goal for the visitor.
We saw it in the Rodrigo game. As soon as TEKKZ was in front, he chased the game on 2 occasions when he was 2 goals behind against Rodrigo. But when he's in front, he's just so confident. It's Gareth Bale that's been introduced.
He does this so well. Just keeping hold of the ball, ticking it from left to right, clock's going down, slowly but surely, minute at a time. Before you know it, you're in the 80th minute, you've got 2 goals now in 10 minutes, and you simply run out of time.
Thank you for the follow so far.
Unbelievable year just continues for this young man.
Thank you so much.
A number of majors under his belt, including tournaments in Atlanta, in Bucharest last year, even over in Singapore. It's FUT Champions Cup number 1, number 4, and number 5. This will be his 2nd LQE.
E-Premier League in London, victorious.
E-Club World Cup. Just to add to the pile of achievements for this young man.
Thank you so much.
representing his country as well, representing his club. He's done it all in such a short space of time. It's not even 12 months he's been able to do this as well. And another trophy to the cabinet that I'm sure will probably be being upgraded soon as we head into next season if he's going to continue like this. Another pause by TEKKZ, probably just to take the sting fully out of this game. Pretty where it's due to Tom though, Cricketer or two away from his man. It's going to be Hulla that picks it up. With 5 minutes left, 3 goals is just too much to ask for FUTWIZ Tom, which does kind of end a fantastic tournament for him. The PlayStation champion, remember that. 850 Global Series ranking points. He'll take $5,000 still away from this event. We'll just be waiting for that clock to tick down there. TEKKZ there thought, you know what, we'll have a goal from as far as possible on the right-hand side.
There
and
you
it's
go.
Steven Gerrard on. You going up front?
Stevie G up top.
And there we go. Steven Gerrard. He's been involved in this team all season long. It hasn't just been in real life where he's been involved in, I'm sure, some incredible matches on the virtual pitch as well. He's been playing in quite a few roles. He's up front in this game. Normally,
I've seen him centre mid.
yeah, normally
I've seen
takes
him
the CDM
CDM.
role.
I've seen him cam. Now I've seen him up top. He's a jack of all trades. And the manager.
And he's seconds away from a 7th title this season. Bucharest is his second home, 4th tournament here, and it's going to be a 3rd tournament win for the 17-year-old. Waiting for that referee's whistle now. Commiserations to FUTWIZ Tom.
He's wanting Gerrard on the score sheet.
Is he going to do it? Oh, save from Van der Sar in the end. FUTWIZ Tom can only laugh. Referee, it's all over here, and he will be your champion. Of the
GG.
last LQE, the PGL Masters goes to
GG.
F2TEKKZ. And it's Steven Gerrard that nearly just puts the cherry on top of the cake. It was a great save in the end from Van der Sar, but he has got the trophy again, Richard. The 7th trophy of the season. Remarkable.
3-1, 2-1. The scorelines that did it for F2TEKKZ. Donovan Hunt, victorious in Bucharest once again. Fantastic performance. Great sportsmanship show between the two players there as well.
Tough for Tom to take, but he should be so proud of the tournament he has had this weekend. The journey he has had as well. He's the highest goal scorer in the competition coming into that.
I'm here with the champion, TEKKZ. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. It's the first time I've won in a while, so I've now won 8 titles, and hopefully by the end of the year, that's 10 with playoffs and World Cup.
You were going up against your friend, your former teammate. Did you ever worry you've been spending too much time together? You've been taking a few tricks off you?
Now, there's a funny story, because the first time we played, like I won 4-1, it was quite convincing. Then we played again, practicing for Champions League a few weeks later, and I lost 6-0. Wow. So I was like, okay, what's going on here then? But yeah, we come here, and I managed to pick up the W, so happy.
We were speaking off air about that momentum. It's crunch time for the season. Do you feel it's a crucial time to win a tournament? You've won so many though.
Yeah, because I feel I want to put a fear factor in other people I play when they say, oh, I'm playing TEKKZ. Like, that's what I want, and hopefully I've got that back now for playoffs and World Cup, because I want to win World Cup.
Well, you've definitely done that, mate. I won't stand in your way if you want to pick up your trophy there. Right, with that.